Now this workshop is for you to understand what is our instrument and what should we call it, because generally I have seen people, kids call the keyboard as piano. So I will clarify all your doubts today. And if you have any doubts from your side, so keep it reserved for the end of the session, we'll have a question answer round. So let's start the session. So let's try to understand what is our instrument all about. So there are two major things in this keys instrument. First is the keyboard. Second is the piano. So now let's understand what is a keyboard, what are the different types of keyboards, what are the different types of pianos, and how do we understand what is a keyboard and what is a piano. Let's understand the keyboard. So keyboard starts from the very basic category which we call as synthesizers. So in short form you can write down synth, but the term is synthesizer. So what is a synthesizer? The synthesizer is basically a very short form, a very toy kind of fun kind of interactive thing for the small kids, which we generally use as to gift someone or as for gifting purposes. These are very small, around 25 keys. It might be around 39 keys, might be around 44 keys. So it's a multimedia device which already have everything pre-programmed. You have to just click the button, one jingle will play. If you just click the button, tone will change. So it's a kind of very interactive and very fun-based thing for the kids, right? So this is the first step of your keyboard. Then comes your second category, which we call them as a keyboard only. So now what is in keyboard? So keyboard is again a multimedia device. We have the upper hand to change the rhythms. In few keyboards, you can just have the dynamics of a little bit of a piano touch. They have the touch response. They have the pitch bend. So there are certain features. So after the keyboards comes our arrangers. So third category is the arranger. So which I am going to show you is an arranger series. I will show you that thing. So now what is an arranger? How is it different from the keyboard? So arranger means, as a layman term, it means to arrange the things according to verses. So arranger gives an upper hand to do little bit more advancement when you are on the stage, or when you are a learner, or when you are a professional as a player. So for the arranger, it gives an upper hand to arrange the tones, to arrange the rhythms, or to little bit modify the rhythms also according to your need. Arrangers, what comes? So after the arrangers, the dead end of the keyboard section is the workstation. So dead end of the keyboard section is workstation. Workstation is also known as music production keyboard. So now let's understand what keyboard we have to have with us to understand or to learn the keyboard. So as per the university guidelines, it's not my guidelines, I am not saying what I like, it's the university guidelines. Whether you take any university, minimum requirement of keys in keyboard is 61 keys. To begin with, it's okay, we can have a small keyboard, but later to understand the both hands running things, running of the scales or running exercises, finger exercises, we have to have minimum 61 keys. So we were talking about the keyboard. So this is an arranger keyboard. This is of Korg brand. Korg is very advanced for the professionals. So I use it for my studio recordings and for stage shows. And this is an arranger series. In this model, I can arrange the tones according to my need. This is what we have understood. This is what I told you. And this model particularly is a touchscreen model. That's why it's a little bit costly. So like we operate our mobiles, everything I can do with my single touch. I can change the tones or anything which I like. So everything can be done from the touchscreen. So if we talk about the sound quality, it's comparatively very nice as compared to the other keyboards. Right? Okay, so now let's understand what the term I used was octave. If you remember, I talked about an octave. Let's try to understand. Whenever we sit in front of a keyboard, our this knee should just come beneath this plastic portion, just beneath the keys. And we should always use the proper keyboard stand to play. Okay. Now the first portion, whenever you sit in front of your keyboard, your knee should just come beneath this plastic portion. And the same rule applies for the piano. Why? Why our knee should just come? There is a reason. Because we are going to use the pedals at a later stage. If you have seen the pianos, it has three pedals. Likewise, for keyboard also we use the pedals. So I have one pedal in front of at my foot, so I can use that. So that is the sustain pedal. So you can just understand the sound. I am playing without the pedal, so it will sound like this. I just remove my hand, sound disappeared. Right? Now I am using the pedal. So there is a lot of softness. There is a dynamic now in the sound. So try to understand and notice holding for a longer time. If I remove that pedal, it will be dry sound. You have to sit exactly in the middle of a keyboard. Whether you're sitting in front of a keyboard or a piano, I'm not telling for both the things. Our main thing is we have to be exactly in the middle of a keyboard. So this brand name generally is in the middle. So all of you are going to write A. Listen very carefully what exactly you have to write. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Write down these notes in the single straight line. So this is what we have written A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So we say music is all about A, B, C, D. If you know A, B, C, D, music is already inside you. Just cut off A and B. If you cut off the A and B, then our note starts from C. So it becomes C, D, E, F, G, and the A and B which we have cut off, just make it after the G. So it means C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And like this the loop repeats. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, like that. So this is a very important thing to understand whether you are sitting a very small keyboard, you are sitting in the 61 keys or you are sitting in the full 88 grand piano. So never get confused to find out your C note. I'm going to tell you the very simple trick to remember that thing. So now if you see your black keys, so just focus on your black key. Black keys are in the form of two black keys, then three black keys, then two black keys, then three black keys, then two black keys, and then three and so on. So let's come to the two black keys. Or let me take this black keys. I think this is the much closer to the camera. So these are your two black keys. Okay. Now these are our chopsticks. I am keeping my two fingers on the chopsticks. Now I am coming to the first letter of the chopstick. So how do we spell chopstick? First letter is C. So remove the second finger, just come to the first note and throw your chopsticks down. Throw your chopsticks down. So this is how we find a note C. Okay, just watch it here. These are our chopsticks. Come to the first note. This is the first letter C and throw your chopsticks down. Fork has three blades. So now these are your fork. Okay, these are your fork. Now how do we spell fork? First letter is F. Come to the first letter F and throw your fork down. Come to the first note F and throw it down. So this is how we find the note F. So this is your C, this is your F. This is your C, this is your F. So let's count how many F we have got. So 1F, 2F, 3F, 4F and 5F. So there are 6 C's in our regular 61 keys keyboard and 5 F. I am going to count 8 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are the group of 8 notes. It means this is one octave. From this C to this C are the group of 8 notes. It means it is our one octave. So in 61 keys, we have 5 octaves. So this is my first note C, second note C, 1 octave, second octave, third octave, fourth octave, and fifth octave. So the shortcut to just calculate the keys in your mind is the octave concept. By just looking at any of the keyboard, you should be able to tell how many keys are there. 5 octave means 61 keys, including all black and white. If you count each and all the keys, it will be 61 keys. Then comes the 76 keys. Then comes the 88 keys. So this is the standard size. Now what is a scale? In Indian music we call it as a sargam, saki sargam. In Western music we call it as a scale, C scale. So it's a very simple thing to understand. Before playing the C scale, let's understand how do we use our fingers. So today we are just going to use our right hand. So now I am keeping my thumb, this bone of your thumb. Like if your hand is like this part of your thumb has to be placed like this. On the C note, on the C note. We just learned how, where is our C? Chopsticks, first note C, throw it down. On our C, we are going to place our thumb. Again on the C note. So this is the C note. And I am using the simple countings like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Wrist up and we're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we are going to keep our pinky finger there only. Then we are going to come backward. So backward will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now let's play up and down. So up is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And backward is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we keep our hand like this and we are going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sound should be very clear. The proper position goes like this. 1, 2, 3, wrist moves. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So there is an over movement and this is an under movement. So there has to be an under movement to keep your thumb again. So let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. After 3, your wrist moves and your thumbs comes beneath your finger number 3 again on the 1. On the F note. This was our F. Then G, A, B and C. So let's understand how we're going to write it down. Because finger number generally comes over the notes, above the notes. So first we write down the notes and then we write down the finger numbers. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C and then we write down the finger number 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have written the 3 C's. One regular C, one C having a dot above it, one C having a dot below it. So this is my octave 1, octave 2, octave 3, octave 4, octave 5. I am using the middle octave. So octave 3 is the middle in all the keyboards. This is my C. I am playing C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So when I am moving from my regular octave, this is my middle octave to the upper octave, I will use a dot above it. So I use a C with a dot above it because I am moving above. So this is our up, this is our down. When we see this is our bass, this is our mid, this is our treble. Bass will sound like this. Mid will sound like this. Treble will sound like this. Okay. So we are talking about the mid. So from the mid we are going to the treble side. So from mid we are going to the up. So this is your up, this is your back. So when we are going up, we apply the dot above the note. So if I have to play suppose C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C dot up and D dot up. It means I'm going to play C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C dot up and D dot up. And we are going to learn the proper notations also. I teach proper notations. So this is the Hannon's book. This is the basically for proper piano exercises and world number 1 for the piano exercises. This is the full edition. It has 60 exercises. But author says if you do my 20 exercises, you will be from no one to someone. You will feel that confidence in yourself. If you play my 20 exercises, this is what author says. If you play 21 to 40 exercise, part 2, you will become intermediate player. And if you do 41 to 60 exercise, then you are an advanced player. So this book basically has everything in the proper notation. This is what you look wherever you see the music. So this is the proper language, proper sign language of the music. This is what we also have to learn. And it's very easy, it's not that difficult. It looks a little bit complicated, but it's very easy to understand. So it has almost 60 exercises, full edition. This is you have to do. Okay, so now let's quickly recap the things which we have learned. So how do we keep our hand, take your position? But let's do one last time quickly. Keep your hand on the keyboard in the proper position. Keep your back straight. Keep your shoulder relaxed, keep your arm relaxed, just wrist movement up. Your thumb should be on C. Chopsticks, first note, throw it down, C. So we play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's do the recap it again. So let's play the C scale. 1, 2, 3. Now your wrist move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how you're going to play. 1, 2, 3. Your wrist moves, thumb comes under it. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And whenever we play the backwards, so while playing backward, it comes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then there is an over movement. So understand that over movement. It comes over it. So 3, 2, 1. So whenever we are going it on the higher side, there will be an under movement in our hands. But whenever we are coming back, there is an over movement. So whether you are playing it fast, you have to understand that I did under movement, I went up and then I came back with an over movement. Right? So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So playing both hands requires more advancement. You can play anything which you like. It's not that difficult. It's all about your practice. So I generally recommend that 45 minutes class should be at least 1 hour of your own dedicated practice. Then you can achieve anything you like. Because whenever we start our second hand, our other hand also gets weak. So this is what we have to understand. Little bit time it takes, almost few classes it will take you to understand or master your both hands. Then we have to apply your both hands to play whatever you like to play. Any Hindi song, any English song, any piece is very easy. Or any Western piece. So it requires the coordination. So once we will understand the right hand, then we understand the left hand, then we apply both hands together. This is how we move. If we start playing with both hands only one day, this will stop this hand, this will stop this hand. So best way of learning is first understand your right hand, then understand your left hand, then try to apply. So this will be our journey if you begin the lessons, begin the classes. So if you have any doubts, you can just ask me. So this was all about the workshop. If you have any query, any doubts you want to ask,